Hey guys, it's been 3 months since my last recording dealing with WITTY, and this next piece is great. It's gonna blow you away because we have been busy over these last 3 months. So we've done a few things. Let me go ahead and explain. Remember the whole thing we were talking about texting leads to the local companies and letting them just get the leads that they want to get? That system exists now. I'm going to show you through it. Also, we went further. You know how we've been optimizing pretty much everything and then saying what else can we do to make things faster and better and so on. So we did stuff like get up in the cloud, got us faster and lets us load balance on the coastlines or wherever the people are. So it's really amazing how much power we get from being in the cloud. So that was a big step up. Another thing is we're up to 20,000 website projects a week, and we're going to start outstripping that very, very soon. We're expanding the manpower to be able to produce at a higher level. So we're getting more templates into play. But the next piece is stuff we didn't even know about. We didn't even think about this. There are tools out there that let you actually judge the quality of your content better than a skyscrapering method to see if you're going to rank at the front page. And it measures like everything. It tells you how many words you need from, maybe you think you need 1,000 words or 2,000, but it'll say like 3429 to 4150. And these are the main keywords and these are the sub keywords, and it'll break down standards so that there's no question that this is what the algorithm is choosing for quality of content out there for the keywords. So along with that, we decided that we have to make sure to streamline content generation and measure it for optimization. So let me just kind of walk you through a series of things real quick. We think we're getting to be too big to fail and so easy to remote control that we can flat out ensure it. And we've been thinking that for a long time, but let me just show you now, see what you think. So one of the first things we thought was incredibly important, of course, is our projects should have no coding errors. You guys know that we talk about that forever. That was a major thing that we've always thought was important. And anytime we found that we had coding errors, we can remote control fix all of the projects that we generate so that they are error-free again. Second kind of a measurement, page speed. Generally through page speed insights, we've always talked about that. Third thing though, and this is more important, GT metrics is a better evolution than page speed insights. It literally explains your page speed in far more detail and far better breakdown and helps you understand everything that's important about it and how it's happening, what's going on. So you can really focus on exact fixes and really know where you stand. So that's been huge. Okay, so as far as making sure that there are no coding errors in the page, that means that Google can read the page, right? The bots. And they can assess the page correctly because they're not tripping over the coding. Page speed has become a huge measurable. As you know, Core Web Vitals, right? CWV has become a major thing. So WebP, we went with the new latest, greatest image formats. They call it a Webby, I think. And that exactly is this idea of Google's image generation method, which is like the same quality as the JPEG, but 1/10 the size. So we said everything has to have it now. That's meant to have it, has to have it. So we switched to that. We have been on a rampage to figure out exactly the best combinations of everything, and so let me just keep going. As you know, I mean, we produce these websites. This is going way back, right? It's a locksmith website. I'm just throwing a few up for visual clarity, right? Bowen Therapy, Plumber, okay? Different site, and I'm just throwing a few up because I also want to make this point. So we've been going through on-page SEO and figuring out if we're in the green and what else we should fix. So as you can see, this is a locksmith website. We're not doing anything with it. This is past us. We're doing different things. So, and again, the locksmith websites together as a cluster generate a tremendous amount of traffic for locksmiths, and their sites are not as quality as ours are anymore at all, and they're not remote controlled the way ours are. So very different. Let me see, issues to fix. Your web page contains URLs that are not SEO friendly. We don't have that problem. And that's a harder thing to fix. This takes a little thought to figure out. And since they can't remote control the websites, they have to decide if they're going to spend the money to update all their websites to use better rules, right? Okay, now it's not connected with social media using the APIs provided by Facebook, Google, Twitter, Pinterest, or using Add This, which I'll show you later. Add This is just one of those tools that you can get like this that'll allow you to connect up, right, your social media into the page in a way that's just really easy. How really important is that? Not terribly, but having it there is cool, and it's one of those things that is considered important because you should get into social media sooner or later. So even if we connect our social media to existing websites out there that are not actually clients of ours, but we're doing it because Google will see our site as a referral site, that benefits them, it can help our site rank so much better and faster. And then anyone who lands on our sites, remember, whether they fill out a form, make a phone call, most of them will not, but no matter what they do, and most of them are going to browse and go away, we can sell those leads immediately to everyone in that area. So if we use the leader, like the mouthpiece, we can use companies that already exist so that when we make websites that point at them, they rank, and that's benefiting them for whatever calls they get or forms they fill out. We can still turn around and make a deal with them because we can use forwarding phone numbers. But we could still grab all the leads from that action and sell that to their competitors as well as them. We can offer the leads to all of them, which is great because most of the leads would otherwise do what? Bounce. Okay, so that's amazing. Let me see. The size of the web pages, HTML is too high. That's another thing. They got to figure out why and deal with it using either HTML compression, CSS layouts, external style sheet. Wow. So they've got a lot of work to do if they want to fix that. And then the website's not using a custom 404 error page. Okay, it's a high cost to the score, but it's an easy fix. That's an easy fix. So anyway, I'm just pointing things like that out, right? Now let's take a look. So the sites that we've been producing are better. Every point gets harder and harder to get the higher and higher you climb. You really have to earn them. But having said that, we've been focused on the structurally challenging things. So what's left that are high, for example? This version and that version should resolve to the same URL with the www dot. We know why that is. We can fix that quick. That's not hard. We'll get that done like overnight. As soon as we come to that point, we're doing a lot of things at once. Ajax programming update is a massive improvement to the coding itself. Makes the pages load faster and it's cleaner coding, and there's no coding errors in the coding, let alone on the front end, none in the back end. So we've been going nuts, getting everything so perfected that there's no argument there with anyone, and not Google or anyone. Okay, website not connected with social media. Yeah, fine. We'll use the add this and make a module and run that through the sites, and all of a sudden that's going to work. We can do that with tokens. Okay, website's not using a custom 404 error page. It's an easy fix. So the three high issues that we have to fix are simple to fix. For the locksmiths, they're hard, some of them. The URLs need to be SEO friendly. They don't have a pattern for that, apparently. The size of the web page is too high. That takes a lot of work to figure that out. That's hard. Then they have to recreate all their pages, right? But in our case, no, man. Our things are easy to fix. And then we'll just keep going. Your web page is using image tags with empty or missing alt attributes. You know how easy that is to fix? We'll take care of that. With tokens. So absolutely awesome. Yeah, what we're doing is spinning all the plates for perfection on all these counts. So it's like a graphic equalizer to get our websites perfectly balanced for the best sound possible. All right, so yeah, another website, very similar concepts. SEO scores a little higher, whatever. SEO scores a little higher. We'll just go ahead and keep pounding through these. We'll get them fixed. And I already showed you this bit about the add us with the social media. You get the point. Now, think about this for a second. When we make improvements, let's say we're going to fix those things. Let's say we're going to make those resolved to www. Let's say we're going to connect the website to social media. Let's say we're going to generate the custom error page, 404 error page so that people can tell if they landed on a broken link. It was like, oh, whoops, you nailed it. Gnarly, dude, there's nothing here. Something like that. Medium, your web page is using image tags with empty or missing all attribute. Very easy fix for us, okay? Just figure that out in the construct and then recreate that through the projects, which in our case is remote control. Very easy fix. Google Analytics script is not detected on this page. That's an easy fix. We'll put Google Analytics into the page. We even have Google Analytics accounts. We have a number. So we'll fix that quickly. And then the rest of what's here is low. Your web page doesn't take the advantages of HTML microdata specifications. Yeah, we'll take advantage of that. Pretty soon that's going to be easy. And then web pages using inline CSS styles, we're going to leave that like that. That's usually important in our case. The trade-off would not be worth it. Better to lose a few points, but have that because it benefits so many other things that we rise and rank better and faster for totally different reasons. Okay, so when we fix that, are we fixing that on one page? No. A website, okay, 5 pages? No, because we get the sitemap with 100 more pages, for example. So we got, let's just say our 100-page website, it's like a 105-page website, right? Is being the basic construct. Okay, so we're going to fix it on 105 pages. All 105 get better algorithmic scores than they had. Every one of them becomes stronger for Google and stronger against the competitors. And since these are hard to solve, we're stronger even against massively powerful competitors like the locksmith dispatchers, right? So, but that's not for one website with 105 pages, right? Just to point out how this goes now. We've got 5,000 website projects here, and they're all different. The one at this URL is different than the one at that, different than the one at that. These are each 105-page websites. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, 105, 210, 315, 420 web pages, but keep going, right? There's 100. There's 10,500 pages in this column here. But guess what? We've got 100 columns. No, and not in this case. We have 50. You want to do the math on that? That's 500,000 web pages that are all being perfected against these standards and being improved against these standards. So making sure this happens, and it'll happen in the Ajax version especially. We're doing, like I said, these upgrades neck and neck. Making sure this happens on everything. Again, neck and neck with the Ajax updates. Making sure this happens, right? Making sure that this goes up and up and up and pushing it from there way up, right? So that we're in the 90s on our SEO scores. Like 95, 98. Couple of things. If you go check out the best ranking websites and you look at their SEO scores very often, as you go through just a series, you're going to find that most of them have really good on-page SEO, okay? Core Web Vitals and stuff. The people who are ranking for useful keywords are paying attention to things like this, or it's for keywords that really don't have much competition, or the competitors are just not web savvy at all. But that's changing, right? All the time. It's getting more and more competitive out there. So those of us who decide we're going to fix everything, make everything better and stronger, more interesting. How cool is that? By the way, we're getting a lot more templates in play that are totally different. The purpose of that, they do not look like they even came from the same source, okay, at all. The templates that we're doing look like they're from different manufacturers and people who use different website guys to create them. Totally different. And we're expanding on that, okay? Just, we're recreating the entire universe of the industry in America, but we're recreating it rapidly, cost effectively, and paying attention to every possible score. Speaking of which, let me walk you through this real quick and then we're going to continue because this will get way more interesting in a minute. We haven't gotten there yet. All right, so this is 500,000 web page launch. Another 500,000 web page. We had homeopathy, we have bow and therapy. I know the color coding and stuff makes it look like it's the same, but it's not. Okay, 500,000, 500,000. We've got 1 million web page launch here. okay, for Bitcoin. We've got a million web page launch for accident lawyers. We've got, this one's just coming along, so it's being paid for by the month. So right now it's something like 200 live projects with 100 pages each. So it's like 20,000 live pages, but it's going to just explode outward after a few more payments because this guy's been paying by the month. So handful more payments, we're finally going to be able to put all the pieces together to launch a bunch more of his sites for him. So it's going to get really big fast. And with the new stuff that we have coming out, all the Ajax programming and everything. Now, another million web page launch for real estate in one area, one metro area. And then we've got home inspectors, one metro area. We've got plumbers, one metro area. We've got other plumber domains stretching out across the nation to follow. Because just different people are getting into this, and while we're doing industries, we're expanding upon them. Okay, there are stacks of these projects, right? And we have lots of servers now. We have lots of software now. So let me go and tell you where this gets far more interesting, okay? We've discovered some AI tools that really help. So using one of these, we're able to create unique, interesting content really fast compared to before. Okay. Now, you would think that means, okay, we can generate like 1,000 words of dead solid content in like half an hour. That's totally unique. No plagiarism. Grammarly scores in the 90s. Really hot. Totally readable. And just what we want. Except it needs some babysitting. And it's not that simple because of the next piece, but the next piece is deadly important. So I'm going to explain that. Like this is 1,400 words, and it's just great. The content we're creating faster and better and with more people involved, but we're following guidelines that are, this is what I want to show you now. This is the middle of extreme excitement coming right now. How do we normally handle content, right? How has everyone always handled content recently? Well, you skyscraper. You find 5 tips for this, and somebody else has got a link that's 8 tips. Another guy's got a link 15 tips. So you copy the 15, the 8, and the 5. Add them up. That's 28, right? Remove the duplicates, and that's probably like 4. So now you've got 24. So you've got the 24 tips, 24 different unique tips or angles and ways to put it, right? So your page can rank higher because it's bigger than the other pages. It's more authoritative. It has all the little pieces in it that so far have been ranking at the top. And people do that, okay? And that's called skyscrapering, right? You build your content by skyscrapering off other people's winning content, then rewrite through it to make it unique. Sounds cool. We've gone way further though. We found other tools, right, that are helping us score this stuff up. So I want to give you an example of what that means. I've got a page here for commercial plumbers, commercial plumbing, just making a point. Okay. I want to point out how different something can be. Okay. Should have brought this back before, but it's okay. I'll make the point. Check this out. So if we create content, okay, but which comes first, the chicken or the egg? In this case, it's kind of half and half. You go back and forth between them. So I'll put it this way. Using one tool, we can say, what do we need to rank on the front page for commercial plumbing? And by using that tool, whoops, let me just pull this over a bit. Okay. We can say, what does that take? And it's going to say, okay, you need between 1,000 and 1,150 words on the page, not more. If we go 2,000 words, it's going to say better back off or you're going to lose your rank. You're going to go too far. You're going to over specialize. There's such a thing. Paragraphs. You need to have between 12 and 14, not 31. But what's it calling a paragraph on this page? Bullet points. Okay. So the bullet points need to be specified as bullet points, and then there need to be regular paragraphs written in. But we see that now, don't we? So what else? Headings. There are no headings in this page. There's just the H1 and that's it. No other ones, right? And I'm going to change that in a minute. And as you fix that and you get between 6 and 7 headings, now we can rank on the front page. Images aren't even needed, for ranking on the front page for commercial plumbing, apparently. But very many, all the different keywords you look up, different things. If you look up website marketing, you need between 4,500 and 6,000 words. You need to have like 80 paragraphs. You need to have like 37 headings, and you need to have at least like 12 images, something like that, 12 to 17 images, whatever. Now, where's it even coming up with these numbers? It is looking at the top ranking websites for the term, okay, like incognito mode. And then it's extrapolating how they got there. And it's looking for the commonalities. And it's telling us what that means. These are words. Some are in the red because there are 0 usages of them on the page. Some are in the yellow because we got them like once, but we need them more times than once. We got this once, but we need 2 to 7 times. Okay? And then some are in the green because like we need this 11 to 26 times and we've got it 13. So guess what? It's in the optimal range. Now, do you need every one of the words in the page? No, what you need is to do whatever it takes to get into the green. So you can use any combination of these to get up into the green. Okay? And that includes if we add images, that's going to drive the score up too. But let me just show you what I mean. Some things are really important about this. Headings. It gives us terms that really should be headings. Okay? For getting up here. Does it mean we have to use them all? No. Again, if I just use it like commercial plumbing services, right, is used 0 times as a heading, right? That's why it's purple and says 0. It's on the page, so commercial plumbing services is right there in the yellow because we used it once. We need it 2 to 7 times. But as far as a heading goes, watch this. If I take that and look at the score is 64, right? If I take this and make this an H2 tag, oh, wow. So now it's in the green. We're in the green. That's really all we have to do is get in the green. Okay. Going further in the green becomes gray territory. Green means green. It means you're competitive for the front page. Now get some backlinks, right? Without the backlinks, you won't be up there. And I can use a different tool to help me write quicker and more efficiently about it. So here's the point. We are masterminding, and it's some work, but we're getting better at this, faster at this. We're masterminding objectively front page worthy content. Okay, so we know that the pages need to be in this range, in that range, in that range, and in that range, and they need to include a whole stack of other terms to be sensible for the topic. So we didn't really guess, right? We followed a procedure to ensure that we're in the green. Okay, and by the time I add images in here, that green's going to go way up from like 73 to 85, you know. A few more headings, a few more paragraphs, because it's the words is too low. I want to get it up there. I can force it, okay, real quick and easy. That's one page on one website, and then we can make that work for what? The city, right? Think about this now. If that's really what it takes to get on the front page of the general purpose for commercial plumbing, and then we take a version of that page, and guess what we're going to do with it? Unlimited tier 1 variation. See this? Some of this becomes variables. Commercial plumbing services and commercial plumbing are basically variables. They can become different headers. They can. I mean, I wouldn't mix my H1, my H2 just purely, but you know that we're able to do this kind of thing efficiently, right? We can figure out the tokens, the variables, and build our var sheets using these concepts and variable wording that would fit and apply. And so what can we do? Once we create the one page that's optimized for the front end, we're going to create a version of it for every city times every website that's got a page for the same city, so that all of the pages we create on all of these totally different websites are worthy of the front page. That should give us multiple front page entries, page by page, and we have a really good reason to believe that we're going to hit it because we are actually scoring ourselves. when we create the variant pages, the score is going to go up or down page by page depending on the combinations of these things. But since we know what our ranges are, we'll make sure to build that into the status quo on the var sheet so that we typically produce these ranges. You see that? And a whole smattering of images and everything else and the variability that we want. And the content variability and the alternate storylines. It's very easy for us to do all of this now. So we can emulate totally different people writing totally different topics that happen to be aiming for the same keywords and going for the same objective scores using different combinations of the verbiage in different orders, different times. It's not like every project we do, that's going to be used twice on the page. No, it's going to be used 1, 2, or 3 times page by page, maybe sometimes more, maybe sometimes not at all. But that's the point. The variability wrapped around what they need, where we have all the combinations to pick and choose from. We don't have to get everything in the grain. Some of it, the rest of it, some of it's going to have more word count, some less. Some's going to have more paragraphs, some less. Some will have more headings, some will have more images. But we can wrap it around the requirements here, from the min to the max, 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 or whatever. And if we add images when it says images is 0, it just makes the page score go up anyway, you know, because it's valuable to have images in a page. Now, that's cool, and that's going to lead to the next video where I put the creme de la creme on top of this whole thing. And you'll see where we go from here.